agenda approval.
I so move.
I'll second that. All in favor of the approval of the agenda, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the agenda will be approved as presented. Minutes for the October 29th meeting. Look for a motion on that.
I so move.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, we'll approve the minutes from the 29th meeting. Treasurer's report, October of 2024.
So we started out October 1st with 120,000. We got 60,000, 60,898 in. We got 4,726 if there was a CD that came due. You can kind of look at it there that, general fund is 46. This month here we'll be getting the bigger bulk of the taxes, but it was good to get 60,000 at least. Expenditures, we had 116,000 in expenditures. The big one was the fire department. They did the second half of their subsidy, and then also the 25,000 for the parking lot. Otherwise, most of the stuff was not very big. Road materials, I guess, was 39,000. But we had a net loss of 55,459 that month. And so again, interest in the CD and savings account was 4,700. And then purchase of equipment for the packer. We bought a packer and stuff, so that goes into the equipment. And then so when that CD come due, I took 40,000 of that there, and put it into the checking account to make sure that I had enough in there to pay the bills. So we ended up at 65,000. We have a lot of things going on and stuff in there, but like this year when we talk about the reserves, and especially on 267th Bridge and all that, you can see on the bottom of the bill that our reserves dropped down. So there'll have to be some discussion at the annual meeting of what we want for reserves and then what our levy should be. But that's where we're at right now. We have 821,000 in the checking and the savings and the CDs. Unless there's any questions on it. Like I said, the big expenditure was the firefighters' second half, but that's their second half subdivision. So.
Is there any other questions for anybody on that? If not, we'd entertain a motion for the approval.
So move.
The motion for the approval of the treasurers, I will second that. All in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign. Hearing none. We'll approve the treasurer's report. Thank you, Kevin. Old business, FEMA funding for Maple.
Well, the overall for Maple isn't going through FEMA because that's a federal assessed road. So the FEMA funding right now is, we met and we got through all the sites. Again, Maple and 41st Street isn't on the FEMA, but we did get through all the FEMA sites, got her the product, how much gravel was put on each site. In there, she's doing was doing some calculations. She did send it back to me, and we're going to meet here next week. She was gone on vacation, and so we should be getting on the FEMA portion. We should be getting down to a Little Roar. The big thing is on that, as we got it as an agenda here on that flooding debris removal. We talked about it with the farmer. The farmer didn't want the stuff in his field, so we got to kind of settle with that and get that kind of locked in. So we do a cost. We originally said it's going to go to the landfill, but it's going to help the cost and stuff of it. But we do need to lock that down. We didn't We talked about it there that day, but I didn't lock it down, that I said, hey, we're for sure going to the landfill, so that's about it there, but hopefully we're meeting next week and I can finalize all the, all the costs and what we get back.
Yeah.
We will get money back, it's just as how much and stuff.
Anybody else on that? If not, we'll move on to the second item, 264th Street. Got an architectural request for funding. It's kind of
I
parallel.
think we need to follow through with it. I mean, we've gone this far with it.
Yeah, we gotta keep going with it or else we're gonna have a total loss, in my opinion.
So you hear the talk about it a little bit more?
Yeah.
Everyone, I'm Ryan with
Okay.
DGR.
Yep.
Covering for Craig.
You bet.
I'm sure you guys are all aware of the slope failure on 264th Street.
Yep.
Sounds like we have applied in the past for some funding just to cover engineering and construction, and that was not accepted last year. And so we see a couple of options going forward this year. We can try again with probably about the same success rate of just cold applying for engineering and construction. The second option would be to apply in May just to cover engineering, which we kind of would expect that they would go for, but then you're looking at applying for construction in 2026. The third option would be, and it's what we would recommend, is cover the cost of engineering now to get the full application ready for the May to cover engineering and construction, but that comes with the risk of them not accepting that in 2025. But we'd expect it'd be more likely if you put some money in the front to cover things now, that they would accept it for funding in 2025. So I have a proposal from DGR and Brown Intertech to do that work. If you guys want to see that, you can go now.
Sure.
And so with this proposal, we'd be getting that work put together, working with C5, and making that application in May 2025 to cover the costs. I think our fee on that was 17,500 for the preliminary portion.
Fee is what,
17,500.
If you're wanting to do this, my preference would be that you authorize the payment of up to the 17.5, and in terms of the actual agreement, I don't want to look at it right now.
Yep.
So if there's any changes, they could sign it, at the next meeting. But that would be my preference since I didn't have this at the time.
I would make a motion to authorize the payment up to 17,500. I'm not gonna assume that it'll never get any cheaper.
I second.
All in favor of the motion? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the motion is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
When, and maybe it's in here, if they sign this at their next meeting, when is the engineering going to be done?
It would be done between whenever we're authorized to proceed and that May, I think you said May, end of May funding deadline. And so we'd hope to do a little bit of site work or site analysis before it starts snowing. And then there'll be some office work over the winter.
It's on the last page, so I just wanted to be able to put that in minutes here.
Okay. Item number 3, federal aid route.
Sorry, who
Go
seconded
ahead.
that one?
I did.
Okay, thanks. So I will report that after the last meeting, I looked into it because I really didn't know anything about federal aid highways. We don't have any notice that we've received. We don't have any information that we actually received notice. My recommendation to supervisors is to not contest it because, one, it's gonna cost money to contest it. Two, they could just redo the whole thing. And there's not much we could do to contest these 3 roads, Maple, 41st,
Riverview.
and Riverview, from being designated as a federal aid highway. Essentially, federal aid highways are supposed to be the collectors that go into larger highways. And there's a lot of discretion with the state superintendent as to what would be a collector. So since we have the money potentially coming in and if we try and challenge it going forward, I think they would have it anyway. My recommendation is to not challenge the lack of notice from back, 10 plus years ago. To accept the money. And the other thing about the federal aid highway, FEMA, if it's a federal aid highway, you don't get FEMA funds for permanent repairs from FEMA. You get it through the state. FEMA gives the state money, and the state can allocate up to 15% to townships, counties, those types of things. Doesn't have to use the full 15%, and it gets to choose where the money goes. So is it a better program? I don't know, but it's supposed to be less paperwork. The threshold is a little higher, $5,000 versus $3,900 for a federal aid highway money coming from the state versus FEMA was $3,900 for permanent road fixes. It's a reimbursement program. We spend, they reimburse up to hopefully 80% of whatever the cost is that we incurred for a permanent replacement. So last month, we discussed whether or not we wanted to challenge it and see instead if we wanted to go through FEMA to see if we get extra money for those 3. My recommendation then is to not challenge it, to have Kevin work with the state to get the reimbursement for up to the 80% for those 3 collector roads that have been designated as a federal aid highway. And he can continue to work on the reimbursement for other things with FEMA for the other roads. I would also mention, Kevin talked about the debris removal, and that does come directly from FEMA, not through the state. So notwithstanding that maybe there's some of these roads designated as a federal aid highway, if there's debris there, that can still be directly reimbursed by FEMA. And of course, we get the FEMA money directly from them for non-federal aid highway. It was riveting to learn all about the program. I feel like I'm more of a rounded person, so I would say to the supervisors, go ahead and accept the money from the state for those 3.
So they sent the paperwork for $15,000 for each site, but it's actually what they do is they get it. The $15,000 was for just to get the sites designated. So I got to do an actual cost, and if the actual costs aren't for over 5,000, they won't reimburse it. But they're just getting it in there for their cost estimates and stuff in there. So down by the bridge will definitely be over, over 5,000. But going down the hill and stuff in there, I haven't put all the figures together, but I don't know if it's going to make it. And the other thing is that debris removal isn't counted on that 5,000. That's reimbursed through the FEMA. So the good news is that we will get the debris removal, but it won't come through the state. It'll come through FEMA. So they got to redo the breakdowns of that. Okay. The interesting thing for me is that we had some over there in Riverview, but that wasn't going to be over 5,000, so we didn't even put that one. Didn't even mention that one. And it was really interesting to me is that they did as a federal road, but Riverview isn't 65 feet right away. And so it was pretty interesting conversation with them. But so I'll sign the paperwork then and get it rolling, and then I gotta make sure that we get over 5,000. Because down the hill, it's the problem is that when we're dumping gravel, it's where we dump it at isn't, where they're dumping and grading. And so designated at that site, I gotta I gotta try to figure that out yet.
So do you think 41st also doesn't have more than 5,000?
No, not on River, that was went over the bridge and
So just Maple?
just Maple. 3 sites on Maple is what we kind of put in for, but I think 2 of them I'll be able to get over 5,000, but the one will be way over 5,000 down by the bridge. That one's fairly easy. Because that's when we consider Maple, that's where our main damage was, and that's kind of where we considered all the, road material went to. So I didn't break it down. I didn't break it down as, and then, so Troy came over and we did notes, went through his notes and stuff to try to figure out each site where we did it on, so hopefully I can, backdoor it here.
So any of the federal aid highways, did we have a 3,900 threshold on any of those? Or
No, they were all over,
Okay.
they were all over, so
What do you mean they were all over?
over that 3,900 threshold.
Less than?
So, yes, no, more,
More,
more.
they were more than, because especially with the debris, because of all the debris that brought in, every one of them are well over the 39. We do have some debris on Maple, so, but the debris goes through FEMA, not through the state, so it's kind of a catch-22.
Right, but those non-federal aid highways, the threshold's only 39 to get reimbursed, so.
What's that? It's over 5,000 for federal aid.
Right, but the other ones, the other roads, not these 3, but the other roads,
Yeah,
the threshold's only 3,900, do we not have?
yeah, we had, every one of those qualified.
Okay, so FEMA's working with you.
Yeah,
on
yeah,
those.
so that one's pretty well done.
Okay,
That one's pretty well done. But, except for the debris, we didn't, in there. So it's coming up on the agenda and then we'll talk about the debris removal, the rest of it, but then I'll pursue that with the state. Sign it and try to send them what the actual cost, but to the best of my knowledge.
So you need a motion to.
I suppose a
accept
motion to accept the designation.
it. Federal highway. I still move on that.
Got a motion and second for the federal aid route.
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Hearing none, that will be approved as discussed. Item number 4, the FEMA, with the decision on debris. As Kevin was alluding to.
Okay, so the debris, has gotta be, done by, the removal is supposed to be done by February 1st of 2025. Otherwise, they have to do an extension, so more than likely we'll have to do an extension on it. But I think we really need to put that out for bids. We got the sites now. I really do think we need to, right now, hurry up and put it out. I'm trying to get my computer up, back up, but, I think we need to go out for bids, get the debris removal moving. We know we're gonna get reimbursed. It'll be after the fact, obviously. But then, if the weather holds and stuff, if they can get it done, I think you can get it done cheaper.
You guys don't know what we're talking about. We're talking about all the ditches that were filled up, gravel, corn stalks, tree branches. So we're gonna try to reshape the ditches. So we have water flow in the ditches. That's what it's all about.
And so I can't even, I'm trying to bring it up. I don't even remember how many sites and stuff that we had. They had Troy and then Postmas go out and look at it. Look at it and stuff in there, but there's, I don't even know what it was, ended up.
But that was just a rough estimate, so he was just doing quick to see where we're gonna end up at. So that wasn't the bids.
So what you're saying is it exceeds the threshold for
Yeah,
services and we need to bid it out.
yeah,
Okay,
and
so then we need a motion to put out for bid the debris removal for the ditches.
And we'll put some bid out for the debris cleanup.
I would second that, just sooner the better.
I sent it to Pam, but we'll have to work with it to try to get Pam to advertise it. The earlier the better.
You, Rich,
Yeah.
and Todd, you seconded.
I have a motion in a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, hearing none, motion would pass. Good with that, Lisa?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Yep.
New business, front foot assessment on the legislation.
Round 4.
Round 4.
Yeah,
We have that SDAT meeting coming up and stuff in there. I do think we should get it ready and send it to when we're there to the meeting and stuff and see if they can help push that through.
Want to do the
They
same?
know about it. They know about it, but
Well, now that maybe Noel won't be there.
Yeah.
She was the one who didn't want any increases in taxation.
yeah, and it's an argument if it's an increase in taxes or just
Right.
an alignment of deals.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If he maybe has a shot.
Yeah.
You want to take it before the township, state's township?
Yeah,
Over there?
yeah, so I'd like to,
I'll just get it to you and then maybe you can find out if they're gonna support it and then the next meeting in December, they can talk about whether they wanna try it again. Is that okay?
yeah,
That's good.
Should we include Dave Call on that again?
yeah, we should do it by there, but at least with the other meeting coming up, I think we should get it to them. And then there's, at the SDAT meeting, there's a breakout or a class that's gonna be on basically in front, basically in developments and stuff in there and talking about them and stuff in there. Road districts, the road district versus slash development. And it'll be a very good, interesting discussion about, why, if we do a road district versus a development like what we do. But that's what is on the agenda right now. So I do think we need to get it up there and talk about that.
I will get it to you and we'll have Pam put on the agenda for next month then after we find out what the state association says.
Okay. Item number 2, bids process started for flooding debris removal to get bids advertised.
That's just what we did under
Yeah, what,
goal
yeah,
4,
yeah,
right? So I
yeah.
guess Pam just had it under twice.
okay, sorry.
No.
All right. Item 3, Minnehaha County Association of Town and Townships meeting on the November 18th at the county building coming up.
Yep, that's at the county building and stuff in there.
It's another FYI.
Yep, and then also too is the annual meeting. We've got, Rich and I are registered to go to the annual meeting in Aberdeen right now, the 5th and 6th of December. Aberdeen, or here on.
What time is that township meeting?
On November 18th.
Yeah.
I'm not sure on the time. What time that is, Kevin?
No, I do not know.
Okay, we'll have to find
I
out.
go early because I'm on the board, so let me see, I'll look at my
I thought you were
calendar.
gonna say you go early because you just want to get a parking spot.
Yeah,
It's full when you get a chair.
yeah, the 18th, it's at,
Next Monday.
must be at 7. Cause I'm first, our meeting starts at 5 and then I got 18:45 moved to the township or the county meeting. So it must be 7.
Okay.
You should get a card out this week and something too, so.
Officials updates, elected officials updates.
I have one thing. So over there by Alibi, now they got that gravel road and stuff. That's considered ours now, I take it?
what gravel road is that?
That one that what used to go where the Alibi used to go, they rerouted
The
it
old
over?
one?
That's Blacktop. By the old bar?
Yeah, on
That's
the other side,
blacktop
on the other side. But we're gonna be doing snow removal, right? on-
Yes, we are.
But is that considered ours now, or is that?
Yeah. We did it last year.
Yeah, but we didn't report it that it's part of ours. It's only 700 feet, but,
Yeah.
okay. But we consider, because Arrowhead, we don't consider ours, or do we consider it ours for an accountable person? But in Alibi, do we consider that's completely ours, though, right?
Yeah, I know, we should have discussed, we should still discuss who does the maintenance as far as breakup of that blacktop, because it is blacktop,
Okay,
it's not gravel.
okay. But for me wise, when we report it to the county, you know, I keep the track, I don't even have Alibi or Arrowhead on the listing.
Yeah, see, but
Okay, but if it's ours, then I want it on the listing.
here's a question for Lisa.
Yeah.
When I was in court testifying, what's the address of the old 6 Mile? We got 2 6 Mile roads.
We got 2 Arrowhead roads.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say, that was my next question, is what we call it, because is it considered 6 mile? And if it is 6 mile, then I would still say that it's kind of like these other ones that we're going through, it's not a section line anymore. It's basically a township road, or we're not making it a development, I'm assuming. What's on there, I don't even know, but there's 2
You got
businesses?
Bruggeman's 2 businesses, and then you got Bruggeman's original house,
Okay,
and then you got the bar.
okay,
Maps don't say that has any name,
yeah,
that little stuff.
You know what?
Maps doesn't, according to them, it doesn't have a name.
The map.
Oh, yeah, I know,
it's just-
yeah,
but like you said, I'll just call it 6 mile, but then consider a township, and then I'll just put on there parentheses, Alibi, 700 feet.
but who designates the names on this street?
Well, I think we can designate the name, so I think,
Lisa will?
well, there's already, I think there's a Lisa in
Oh,
Sioux
there's a
Falls,
Lisa.
that gets really confusing.
Marvin.
So, maybe we can talk
You got one
about,
on the list?
what to name it, because it should have,
Well, that'd be a destination, where to go,
yeah, well, and,
and you gotta have.
I mean, what's Brueggemann Collision's address?
Ruckman Road?
Manifold 770 Oliver.
So I'll
John got this.
I'll look into that and naming that road.
Yeah, whatever, just for me, why,
No,
so
that's right.
I lock it in, kind of that, hey, this is, we maintained another 700 feet, and it's not considered a section line. It's a township, kind of like what we need to discuss on 267th over there in Red Rock, you understand that?
Yeah, but see, there's,
need
now we
to
got
discuss it.
blacktop deal over there though,
I know.
so I mean,
Yeah.
blacktop makes it all real different, I mean,
I know.
we're gonna have to crack seal it and all that, somewhere down the road.
Yeah, that one's different than this one, but I mean, we don't even have this one designated yet as ours, so, okay. Okay,
So that should be a discussion we should have with the city.
Well, let me take a look at it. Brueggemann's, their address is 6 Mile Road, actually, so.
If we
Even though
name
it's
it,
moved
if we
over.
name it, they're gonna have to get new stationery.
Well, okay.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we,
No, it's-
when we have before our annual meeting, a couple of these, I just wanted to
yeah.
kind of lock down here what we got, so.
Yeah.
That's all I have.
Well, the boys have got plows on the tractors. They've gone through all the equipment, ready for snow. Got number 1 fuel going through some of them, so they're ready for the colder weather. Everything's been mowed, they went out the other day and touched up all the bad spots. So,
Did really nice.
yeah. So I think, I hate to say it, but I think we're ready, but I don't want to be ready.
When you say they touched up the bad spots, you're talking about gravel?
Yep.
Okay.
Always on gravel.
Yeah, I just was making sure, because,
Yep, no.
I don't normally do the minutes, so.
You got anything, Mark?
No, I don't.
I had in the Indian Hills, we might have to send a resolution perhaps that we made about burning and putting trees in the roadway.
Okay.
I got another one.
Okay.
In Indian Hills.
Okay.
it was a windrow of trees that laid there for at least a week.
Well,
Do we need
Hidden
to,
Valley's the same way.
do we need to send that out everywhere about what the roadways are used for?
When you say send out, how do you wanna send
Our
out?
new
A
resolution.
mailing,
That's what I'm wondering.
a mass mailing?
For some reason, it's gotten to be a new fad.
Do we have any idea of who did the burning?
Well, they didn't burn, they just put a windrow of branches there and
Oh.
left them for a week.
Okay, do we know who it was, so we can
Yeah.
write them?
Yeah.
Okay, if you wanna give me the name, I'll write them a letter.
All right, I'll do that.
What about in Hidden Valley, do we know who left or burned?
Well, there was left, but I get that name too.
Okay, so, I mean, we can do a mass mailing, I can talk to Pam about how much that would be.
Maybe we should do this one and see if it quits.
Okay.
Before we do a mass mailing.
Okay,
So everybody knows that the definition of a roadway is to move transportation, and we've suddenly had people burning branches in the roads or storing branches in the road. I mean, it all makes us shake our heads, but it seems like common sense, but that there is a definition to a road, and that's obviously to move traffic. Anyway,
So I've seen where tree removal companies have temporarily,
oh, yeah,
and that, you don't have any objection to that?
No.
Okay.
As long as it's not blocking the road. I mean,
Yeah, as
you
long
can
as
get by
it-
your cars and get
Yeah.
by it without
Yeah.
scratching them.
yeah, no, that's normal.
Okay,
only the trains get to move their stuff in the road.
It's when you,
Yes, yes, right.
it's when you start burning it on the road too.
Well, they were storing them on the road, I don't get it. Anyway.
Okay. Oh,
Any-
Pam had an update, she asked me to share, sorry. To let you know that, the county has 3 big meetings for 2045 Envision Comprehensive Plan. I left some flyers over there. The county intends to make some big capitals underlined bold land use changes that will be explained at their meetings. Considering making changes in how building eligibilities are transferred to make the process easier, looking at allowing accessory dwellings units on some parcels, and changes on how developments can occur, perhaps paving the way for more residential type developments. This should be of interest to every citizen of the county.
okay.
What's an accessory dwelling?
To me, an accessory dwelling would be one of those houses, the house, or they have different names.
Barndominium.
The barndominiums,
Oh,
the great
okay.
big pole
We have a
barns that
shed
people live in
house.
it, yeah. House, condominiums, those
She
things. She should,
Yeah.
So flyers over there, the dates, you already missed November 7th one in Del Rapids, but the one in Brandon at 7 PM on the 14th, and then Hartford the 21st at 7 PM. So please take a flyer. It's of interest to every citizen of the county. That was Pam's update.
The other thing is I did send you, everybody, a deal on Maple. That file, I tried to print it out, but there's something wrong with the print.
I can't open it.
Yeah, it won't open.
Yeah, we can't open it, only you can open it because we're not authorized users, but thanks.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I tried to print it, to print it for you, and I can't get it to print, so I'll have to talk to them. I have been in contact with them because, the last minutes and stuff, went through it and made some corrections, or there's some corrections on it. And then I did talk with that one guy that they wouldn't try to get onto, but, that design is, as you can see, or I don't, I suppose you can't see it because it's not there, but they got close to getting the design done for that.
Yeah, and I had talked to the county and, said we'd gladly give it to them again, and now they're talking about it's $30 million instead of the $10 million that we first had looked at, I don't know, like 15 years ago. It's still on their radar, but unless they get some significant funding, they don't have the money for it for at least another 5 years. That's what they're saying still.
Yeah, I was pushing them to get it on there because if no one gets that's the deal good there, that's stuff that goes through.
Well, it's a federal highway, so it's gotta be
Federal assist.
Yeah.
Well, it's a
And that's
federal
what-
assist highway.
Well, whatever.
Yeah,
Still,
federal assist. But what I'm saying is,
they got input on it too.
the
then.
more
Right.
political pull that you have
Yeah.
up there, the better
So
chance. of
they
it.
haven't forgotten about it, just don't have the funding for it yet.
And I missed what road that is?
Maple?
Maple.
Maple, okay.
I threw some of that cost in there because I was going back and forth with them about the bridge. The bridge needs to be replaced, but.
Public comment? Anybody got anything?
I'm sure you folks are aware of the planned construction on Arrowhead and Highway, Veterans Parkway planned for the next 2 years.
Yep.
And, there's an open house, the city has an open house coming up here a week from tomorrow up at the school.
What school?
Awesome.
Up at,
Fred.
Fred Assen.
So the 20th?
The 20th, I think it's like 5 or 5:30 to 7 or something like that. So I went to their website and I saw that they have detours planned. The detours go north and south on 6 Mile Road and then go north and south on Sycamore down to 41st and then north up to Madison, I think. Arrowhead east of Veterans Parkway, the 6 Mile, if I understand, and obviously this needs to be confirmed by going to the open house, is going to be closed for all of 2025. I'm sure they're going to leave it open for local businesses, would be my guess. But the only reason I bring that up is I'm concerned that people in their nature will get creative to find the shortest way through wherever they need to go, which could put some increased traffic through Split Rock Heights and specifically on Quartzsite. So I would simply request that you plan on or consider putting the speed things and the traffic counters next spring up on Quartzsite to get a before construction traffic count and then leave them there for a period of time to get after or during construction traffic count. So if there's any issues that develop because of the changed traffic patterns, road use, or speeding, or issues that come from littering or anything like that, we can attribute it to some real data before and during data, and then take some appropriate action. So I just like to put in a request for those traffic counters and
Yeah, I figured on Quartzsite and Pine Lake Drive, we're gonna need them.
Yeah.
One on both of those, because the last time when that was all closed, everything kind of went through Pine Lake Drive or through Mystic
Or
Meadows,
through
one of
Mystic,
the
too.
two.
yeah.
So we got 3 places. You guys are one, Mystic's another one,
Mhm.
and Pine Lake Hill's another one.
Because
They've all talked to us about it.
yeah, all
Okay.
that local traffic in there will go, kind of through theirs,
Right.
so. So we also talked about speed bumps too, so.
Right. And I know we talked about speed bumps last time.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to that gal. You gave me the name and the address, and I'll talk to her about giving some of her neighbors rallied to the cause. So,
We heard this was coming, and
Yeah.
we heard it's gonna be at least a year, but long-term would be 2, but
yeah.
they're gonna try to cut it in a year, and I don't know.
Well, and then the other half of the intersection.
Yeah.
The going west, that'll be in 2026 from what I read. So it's a 2-year project. The one that would affect the neighbors most would probably be
The first year.
first year, 2025. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. All right. Got the bills that we have for the month. Asphalt Surface Company, Hidden Valley and Fog Seal and Iverson Crossing, Crack and Micro Surfacing, Bargain Barn, Tractor Tire, Boyce Law Firm, Legal Keys, Butler Machine Equipment Routine Maintenance, Crustman Sanitation, Yearly Garbage Service, Running Supply for Shop Supplies, and Transwest Trucks of Sioux Falls for shop supplies. In a total of $30,702.70. Make motion to approval.
So move.
A second.
Got a motion and a second to pay the bills as presented. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Hearing none, the motion will be passed. No need for an executive session, so I move motion for adjournment.
Well, I just quick say, I looked, it's that open house is November 20th, Red Assam, from 5 to 6:30. So, there you go.
I do have a CD due, on the 14th here, but I'm assuming we all have the taxes, so that one there, I just gonna plan on renewing. It's gonna drop down to 60,000. We have an account, but we should get enough taxes here now to pay the rest of the, I shouldn't have to worry about it.
Todd,
Yes,
just wondering if, since that construction is gonna affect most of the township in one way or another.
Yep.
So I send out a mass mailer reminding people that they could go to that
I would.
You know, your email?
email. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
It would be great, Virgil.
So I just Googled
Okay,
and found it.
I'll pull up some info and,
Include the city of Sioux Falls on it.
what's that?
Include the city of Sioux Falls on that mass mailing.
Okay. And your checking account number is?
Motion to adjourn.
A second.
Motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Yeah, take care. Good to see
Thank
you.
you.
December 10th. Don't forget.
There's still the landfill available.